Tonight's the night we'll make history. Honey, you and I.
Perhaps as soon as 8 years from now, experts warn. And your generation is left holding the bag, and it's not a pretty sight. Unless Congress acts immediately to stop the out-of-control spending, stop the devaluation of our dollar, stop the incessant foreign borrowing, and stop printing worthless money. Otherwise, this is it. Our borrowers, like China and Japan, will insist on replacing the American dollar with a new international one world currency. You've already heard about this from China, Brazil, South America, now the United Nations. That means reducing demand for the American dollar, and then we're left with a dollar that's worth very, very little. We can do better than this. I care about you, and I care about your generation. And we don't have to have the movie end this way. We can change it, because you deserve freedom too. Now, I know you came tonight to see someone for whom I have great respect and great esteem, and someone that I have enjoyed getting to know in Washington. Congressman Ron Paul is one of the leading advocates of freedom in our nation's capital. He's worked tirelessly, as you know, for constitutional government, for low taxes, for free markets, and the topic we're here to discuss tonight, sound monetary policy. Please give a warm, rousing Minnesota welcome to Congressman Ron Paul.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Very nice, very nice. Michele guaranteed me I had a lot of friends in Minneapolis. Very nice. No, it's great to be here, and thank you, Michele, so much for that nice introduction. And besides, now I don't have to talk about the Fed. She has that speech down pretty well already. That is great. Well, I do appreciate the invitation. Michele does come to my luncheons, and several months ago, maybe 6 or 8, she said, "When are you coming to Minneapolis?" I said, "Oh, I'm too busy. I can't do it. I have all this." So I kept putting her off and putting her off. But she has perseverance. Every week it was the same question. Then I'm on the House floor. "When are you coming? When are you coming?" Just set the date. Just set the date. So, Michele, I'm glad you got me here. Thank you. You know, we have done well, and Michele mentioned about auditing the Fed, and that was done not by me. I'm not very good at twisting arms. Besides, I have nothing to trade in Washington anyway. But I went to you. I went to you and said, if you believe in something, talk to your members of Congress. And evidently, a lot of people did throughout the country. But I do want to recognize one individual here. I assume he's here tonight, and that's John Kovacini, who got more petitions than anybody else put together to pass this audit the Fed bill, and I want to thank him personally for that. Also want to recognize and thanks once again Marianne Stebbins for her very important work here in keeping the organization going. Marianne, thank you very much. Now, you did meet Jeff Frazee, the national coordinator for the Young Americans for Liberty, and I consider his work very, very important, working with the universities, and that has been the sort of, his organization is a spin-off from the Campaign for Liberty. But I really believe long-term that's going to be one of the most important organizations, Young Americans for Liberty. I do believe the revolution is alive and well, and I have heard that the revolution is alive and well in city politics here in Minneapolis. But Jeff has done an exceptionally good job, and I think that's going to continue. The universities are where the revolutions really occur. If you think about the TV images of the various countries where people get finally fed up with their government, where are the major demonstrations where the people get the backbone and they say, "I've had enough," because it's the young generations who understand what they're inheriting, and they say no more, and they so often lead the charge. So I am very grateful for those of you that are in the universities or interested in this cause of liberty, because I believe that's where the action is. Thank you for joining us. You know, not too long ago, there was a little incident on the House floor about somebody telling a lie. I don't know if anybody you remember hearing that or not. And I wasn't exactly happy with that incident at all, but it made me think more about other kind of lying. It's called the noble lie. The noble lie has been around since ancient times, since Socrates, and the proposal is the understanding of the noble lie is that governments are obligated to lie. It's in their interest to lie. If they tell a lie, because only the smart people get in government, they have to lie to the average person because he can't handle his own affairs. And this is what happens in so many governments. It's happening in ours continuously. But in order to lie to you, what they have to do is stir up fear and get you fearful. What did they do when the financial crisis hit? They wanted to build up fear, and they scare everybody, scare the people, and say, you have to pass something, do this, and have the panic. Whether it's the financial panic, or whether it's 9/11, or whether it's getting you psychologically conditioned to start another war, they're always wanting to build up fear. So we have to be on guard, and we have to make sure what our government tells us is the truth, and we should never go to war if they're telling us a lie about what's happening. You know, in 1998, as early as 1998, we had a resolution on the House floor, and it was essentially a declaration of war against Iraq. And that was early on. It took 5 years, took the conditions to mold, and finally we went to war because we took the position over my strong objection. We took the position that we had to have regime change in Iraq. And that, of course, finally came about. But on this very day, in the city of Pittsburgh, what are they doing? They're pumping up the next war. They've all of a sudden decided, and they're using the same rhetoric, the same fear-mongering terms that, you know what, we've known about this. In Iran, they have this nuclear reactor that they're working, and they're refining nuclear power. The truth is they've had it for a long time, and the UN has known about it, and it's just stirring up fears. What they're getting ready to do is put very, very strong sanctions on Iran. Now, they want to do this. Now, listening to the reasoning of the reason why we're supposed to do this, we want to make sure they don't import any gasoline. Now, they can't even make their own gasoline. And we think they're going to get a intercontinental ballistic missile and nuclear weapons and shoot them at us, and we have to have anti-nuclear weapons, anti-missiles in Europe, and all this nonsense. It's nothing more than stirring up the military-industrial complex in order to get us involved again. They did that. They did that leading up to the war in Iraq, and now they're moving once again. But sanctions and blockades and prevention like this is an act of war. But you know, if they can't